Hi, I'm Renee Seltzer, and I wanted to talk about value propositions today. So this is the work that I'm doing for a client, and we're really helping them come up with what is their value, what is their place in the marketplace, how do they best talk to their end consumer, and then what's their positioning, what's their brand personality, what's the visual elements that are going to help tell that story, and then unite the entire organization around those pillars. So really excited for that. But one of the most important things before you really start marketing is really understanding what is your value proposition. How do you stand out in the marketing space? How do you stand out against your competitors? And that's actually something that we spend a lot of time on, is really diving deep into your competitor landscape. What are their costs? What are their setups? How do we position against them? And that really helps to inform what your value props can be, because if everyone's saying this exact same thing, you have to figure out how to say something slightly different or way different. It's really, really important that you start to have clarity of message, clarity of value prop, and then always aim to be clear over clever. A lot of times people are trying to coin specific things on their website and it just isn't clear on what you do. People don't buy because of demographics. People don't buy because of personas. That helps you align your messaging and feel like you're talking to a real person. But what people do is they buy because they have a problem that they have to solve. For example, most of our clients that come to us is they're struggling with scale. They're businesses that just can't figure out how to keep growing. They've kind of plateaued in where they are. So that's a pain point as an agency that we're always addressing on your website. Do you want predictable leads and sales? Because that's what we help you with. But it's really important that when you're thinking of value proposition and you're thinking about your website and what you're specifically saying and how you're saying it, is it has to be pain point driven. You are solving a specific pain point, and then people are going to listen to that. I always give the analogy, if someone started talking to me and complaining about boarding schools with their kids, I would tune out because I have zero interest in boarding schools. But let's say they started talking about the elementary school that my kids go to, and like, oh, I'm listening now because that now relates to something in my life, something I care about. So you really have to make sure you're hitting on the pain points that your customers have. And one of the best ways to do that is asking them. You should be asking your customers constantly for feedback, but then also asking for advice. People actually want to give advice better than they want to give feedback. So use those words instead of asking for feedback. Say, what's the advice? Where do you think we should go? How do you think we should message? Where do you think our position is in space? What is the pain points that we're solving for you? And then also ask those customers that you didn't close, because you want to get more of those. And what are their pain points, and how do you best create services or messaging or positioning yourself to solve those pain points? So we can help with any of that, but I hope this was really helpful. We also have some great webinars about strategic planning in general, how to associate the right budget for it, how to think about it, how to make sure that you're innovative enough because the world is changing out from under us. Another analogy I always like to say is, if you're standing right at the ocean, even if you don't move, the sand out from under you constantly moves. And you could fight change just like a wave. You could fight the wave and it practically looks like you're drowning. Or you could float on top of the wave and just go with the change, right? So you have to decide, what kind of business are you? You could be the one that really does move and the ground isn't moving out from under you, regardless if you're moving or not. Or you're going to be the company that fights change with tooth and nail. Or you're going to embrace change because that is just the world that we live in and things are changing at lightning speed. So I hope you take all this value proposition and remember to be clear over clever. Be really poignant in how you're solving someone's problems. So kind of lead with that. Ask your customers, what are their big problems and how does your service solve for them? Or how would you like the service to solve for them? So be, qualitative in nature and try to pull those insights out. And again, if you need any help with all of this, that's what we do. We're EllisonEllery.com and we'd love to chat with you. I'm Renee Seltzer, and have a good one. Bye.